Money is a very important factor in life and everything revolves around it. But is it really important in your trip? Find out in today's video. In today's video, we deal with something different. You will see what trips from $100 to $1 million look like and what ultra-rich people can afford just to relax and enjoy their vacation. First, we will deal with the $100 trip. Don't think that this trip is bad, because for that money you can certainly afford a good vacation. In this video, we will take examples for London because the largest audience of this channel comes from this city. For starters, the city of London itself can be explored for free, and you can enjoy the views of the city, or if you're from the outskirts, left-wing bus tickets can get you anywhere in the city for just £2 to £6. London is certainly an expensive city, so we will also include free museums and excursions in this category. The British Museum has free entrance, and if you are a lover of history and culture, you can certainly visit this museum at any time. Other museums pay an entrance fee of about £20 on average, but they can be much more expensive depending on what you want to visit, although we recommend these museums: the National Gallery, Buckingham Palace, the Postal Museum, and the Garden Museum, as well as the London Eye Ride. They will cost around £30. The British Museum is not the only one that does not charge admission. Here's more. Imperial War Museum, Sir John Soane's Museum and Guildhall, as well as various parks and sculptures that decorate the city. As for international travel, you could buy a plane ticket, but with this budget you cannot realistically travel by plane. With many more destinations that you can visit, we finish this sequence and move on to the next one, which we will call Affordable Adventure, and in it we will count trips that would cost from $100 to $1,000. This is already a serious adventure for exploring London, but not enough for a bigger trip around the world. Such trips can be afforded by the majority of the population of London, which is still counted among the population that saves every penny on the trip. Trips such as Paris or Dublin are possible with minimal expenses, but trips for the whole family are almost impossible, bearing in mind that the average household in London has 3 members. If we were talking about a trip around London, we wouldn't consider transportation and there would already be more possibilities. While we haven't moved on to exploring London in this category, keep in mind that Great Britain offers a lot of flow for this amount of money, such as traveling to Scotland or Wales, meeting new cultures and people. And now what would be possible to do in London? With this money, you can enjoy yourself. You can rent a great car for the whole day, as well as a hotel with a great view, or enjoy a restaurant with your friends and pay the entire bill. The difference between this level and the next ones is that in this level, you can do luxurious things only for one day or have dinner in a restaurant with fewer people. You can't have parties in different bars. You have to do it in your own home. And from bars in the city, you'll choose bars that don't stand out so much in terms of quality and luxury. In order to experience something like that, we move to the next category, which costs from $1,000 to $5,000. Now we are already talking about serious figures because not many people are able to afford such trips. And even if they were, the money for such trips would be a big investment for most of them. Of course, now we can talk about international trips that the whole family can enjoy. In question are winter and summer vacations all over the world and enjoyed in medium-equipped hotels, mostly as a family or with a partner. Some of the destinations are Bangkok, Lisbon, or Los Angeles. You can travel anywhere in the world, but if the destinations are expensive, you won't be able to enjoy them as you would in cheaper ones. Through the beautiful Philippines or the magical idyll of the Italian Alps, the whole world is yours, because with this budget you can really enjoy and experience life's experiences. As for trips in London, it now certainly includes exploring the whole city, partying until late and renting the best destinations that London can offer. For one night, of course. Of course, we can use this money for a good trip around Great Britain. But if we talk about what can be done in one day, it's certainly a lot. Enjoy premium seats in different stadiums or VIP lines in different theaters all over the city. You can enjoy modern technology through various forms of entertainment or the best food that London can offer with a glass of expensive wine or champagne. If you are ready to spend this much money for one night, you certainly have a much higher income than someone who spends the whole year collecting money for a trip. But if the budget is up to $5,000, that is what you can afford. Which brings us to the next step, where you have a budget of around $10,000. This much money will hardly be spent in one night, but we will mention what you can do in one night or in one annual trip. Traveling with this kind of budget would certainly be the dream of many and would mostly be based on exotic first-class travel and enjoying 5-star hotels. You will enjoy every day of travel with luxury and glamour. Some of the privileges that people who travel with this budget have is VIP seats wherever you go, the best seats everywhere, and always the biggest privileges in clubs and parties. This level of wealth also changes the circle in which you move and reduces the circle of people you hang out with to those of your level. Your wealth is appreciated wherever you go, and your travels will look impeccable. With trips to cities such as Dubai, Las Vegas, or Barcelona. Often due to the amount of work, you don't travel even though you have the opportunity in every part of the year, regardless of price or experience. You can rent the best cars and hotels in the world, but you still can't compare to the levels above you. Which brings us to the next level. If you're willing to spend over $100,000 on a trip, you definitely have a few million in the bank. And now things get serious. If a famous person appeared in your town, you would be in the first row, or maybe even meet that person in person. You would even forget about cheap hotels and worrying about money. Now your travels look like from a fairy tale because you move around rich people and do what you think should be done. You've already forgotten what a family vacation looks like, and whenever you go out, you go to the best places in the city because you have already explored the whole city. There will be a set time for you even before the party itself, and you will always have a place everywhere. Wherever and however you can get there in a very short time because you move when it suits you, and of course in first class. Fashion is your best friend because you try to impress your rich friends and return home with the greatest souvenir, which can be some expensive clothes or art. Your travels will be visited by millions of people around the world because with the luxury you have, you can make the best photos and videos from your trip. Do you want to ride a camel or have lunch under the ocean at a marine restaurant in the Bahamas? It is only up to you to decide, and it will come true. Although everything seems so fabulous, it is not even close to what can be done by someone who decides to spend $1 million or more on a trip. Because for them, only their imagination is the ultimate limit. For $1 million, one person can turn his vacation into a whole event, or something like a city party for 2 years, or a party in the biggest discotheques in the world. But to stick to the topic of the video, we will talk about what someone with $1 million can experience on their trip. You can be in any part of the world in just a few hours with your private plane. Or if you rent it, you would spend about $100,000 to $200,000 for that luxury. Let's take for example that you can get from London to Singapore in a few hours. And when you get there, a VIP seat is waiting for you in the stands of the Singapore Geo Formula 1 race. Because you are extremely rich, you can bet hundreds of thousands of dollars on your favorite. And if your favorite wins, why not just throw a party in Singapore and open some cheap wines from the 19th century? Of course, you move in the circle of your agents, pilots, bodyguards, as well as the most beautiful models who will enhance your experience to the maximum level. Also, one difference between this layer and any of the previous ones is that you can buy time and edit the shows presented to you the way you like them. Why not simply rent the whole island and use it however you want? And if you have already rented it, why not buy it and thus further enhance your experience? The hotels where you sleep are simply perfect so that the view of the city you are staying in is the way you want it. And if someone is already in the room you want, they will move out of the room and you will get the freshly arranged room you were looking for. After a while, you will get bored. Until now, you can do your work from wherever you want, and you probably already have people doing it for you. You would live such a life so much that sometimes you would not know whether you are on a journey or not. No matter how rich you are, you would want more. It is not a problem to feed the poor, but the rich. You would have the time of your life, but you heard that your friend visited all the wonders of the world in 1 week. So you would want the same, or even more and better. Maybe you would swim with sharks, but you would hear that your friend was in a submarine and explored sea corals live. Which brings us to the last level of wealth. A $50 million trip. If you are ready to spend over $50 million on one trip, it would no longer be a trip because the only thing that differentiates your life from a trip is a vacation from work, which is well known internationally because you are so rich that the whole world knows your work. When you are tired of exploring the world, partying, and generally having fun, you want your life to be as different as possible. We will no longer pay attention to London because you can live anywhere on the planet if you wish. Something you could think of to be different from others is to try extreme sports yourself or to simply go on a space tour. Your character is now mandatory at the Oscars. Major music festivals? You could have dinner with any famous person and participate in their events and concerts if you want. Buying souvenirs would only be auctions against the many rich people like you who want to buy some rare piece of art, jewelry, or a car. After everything we have seen, the question is, what can those who are not seen in public, and about whom nothing is known except that they are extremely rich, buy and enjoy? The only thing we know is that each of us enjoys our well-deserved vacation, no matter how expensive or luxurious it is. But something that money can't buy is the time you spent enjoying your vacation. Be happy with what you have, and enjoy your travels. Bye.